Play.
Proactive start there from Monfils.
15.
Mentioned he won the title in Auckland, the 13th of his career, beating Zizou Bergs in that final. But it wasn't all plain sailing. He was 6-1, 5-2 down in the first round against Pedro Martinez, who...
He was almost on the plane.
Yeah, he's better known as a clay court player, Martinez, but Monfils able to sort of flick a switch and turn that one around. Such is the curiosity of this sport. He goes on to win the tournament. So
15-30.
And it's funny because Gael's agent, Nicholas Lamperin, is the tournament director there. And he said, I looked over at Nicholas and thought, oh, God, I've got to try and survive here. You know, I'm down, I'm out, and I'm almost out the door, but I saw Nicholas there, and I just need to survive a little bit.
Maybe he came in through courtside just at the right time. Oh, there's that one-hander. Clean strike, just missing wide though.
Different type of tennis match, this one for Gael. We'll talk a little bit about what I think we'll see a little bit more of here today than we did a few days ago from the Frenchman.
Juice.
Monfils doing what he does so well, allowing Altmaier to be the aggressor and then just picking him off.
And that's where the breeze is coming from the back of Altmaier. So he's going with the breeze, so he actually gets more penetration on the ball. We'll be interested to see where the breaks come from. Breaks or serves, whether it's... Yeah, you can see there, couldn't you, the ball, you know, that flighted ball, how it actually pushes Monfils back because of the extra breeze. I don't know about you, but I used to love when you had the wind. Did you like playing with the wind?
Yeah, I probably prefer playing into the wind, as long as it wasn't too strong. The ball quite flat, so I find it harder to control downwind.
Yeah.
But Altmaier, you know, he likes to play with clay. Plenty of rip on the ball, doesn't he, and spin, and seems to be enjoying it.
Great serve out wide there. If you're going against the breeze, if you can serve the ball out wide with a little bit of swing, that wind will actually assist in pulling it even further out there. One of Gael's favourite serves on the forehand court. He'll generally, probably 75% of the time, he'll go out wide on that first court.
And that's the first ace for Monfils. Tidies up his opening service game.
First game.
And we're up and running here on 1573.
So Colin, in the Frenchman's first round, he played Petri Pericard, who's a big young Frenchman who's got this massive serve. Doesn't really play well off the back of the court. So Gael was, I guess, just moving the ball around a bit, pushing for a lot of the time as well, just waiting for some unforced errors that came out of his racket. This is a different type of match, so it actually made Gael play, I guess, passive and a bit safe. I don't think that's the best version of Gael. I like it when he's actually got targets to hit into, and so this for me is, we'll see a different type of tennis match. He'll be getting a lot more energy on the ball through the back of the court, and Altmaier will make you play that way.
Yeah, nice
Daniel
inside there.
Altmaier to serve.
You coach Monfils, I think I'm right in saying 2008, 2011, took him into the top 10 in the world.
Yeah, for the first time. Moved from, I think we started, he was about 41, and then pretty quickly he found his way up to in that top 10. All credit to him.
59.
Well, a bit of sledging from the crowd there. If you didn't pick that up, someone very clearly saying he doesn't want it, Gael. Bit of spice here on 1573.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Welcome to Australia.
Yeah, well, you know, they remember Gael and I together, so he's got some support. He'll be disappointed with that. So that's the safety type of ball that I don't like, Colin, because the serve is 127, by the way, kilometres an hour. Not big at all, in fact, super low. And Gael just started the rally, and then there he was just hitting the ball back with a bit of flight, but potentially asking his opponent to go for something. I'd rather Gael hit with some purpose into the corners. Even harder to defend up the other end. I mean, you can see already it's difficult up the centre that Altmaier's on.
As I said, Altmaier won his first Australian Open match in the first round here. This is his fourth appearance. It's fair to say better known as a clay court player. Looking at his win percentages on tour on clay, 42%, grass 36, hard 26. So he'd rather have a clay court under his feet, but you know, he can play on hard as well. He's a shot maker.
That's as about poor a drop shot as you would see.
Jeez.
Yeah, a few people watching on thinking, I could have done that.
It's good when you see the normal stuff happen.
Yeah. Reassuring, isn't it?
Yeah. For the casual player. So yeah, on the forehand side, if you're going with the breeze, you're hanging a little bit wider, so you're just trying to protect that. You're protecting the wide serve here. This was a good serve, and there was a miss hit. And Gael taking that real defensive position, it just opens the wide spread, doesn't it? He does give you that option.
It's a nice strike there. Nice couple of strikes on the forehand from Altmaier, and he levels us up here in the opening set.
One game.
And when the breeze is like that, like this it is, it's tricky for the players. Every time you hold against the breeze, you actually, it's almost like there's a little relief. And now on the return, you can actually, you can get after it. Because the ball, you shouldn't really be able to overhit too often, so you can aggressively attack the play. So there's Gael serving right in the middle of the sun right now. So he has had difficulty at times dealing with this time of the day. And he already tried to stand wide and actually throw the ball out a little wider and went for that heavy slice. You can see there just hitting across the ball, trying to take his initial vision or view away from the middle of the sun.
A nice clear target on the forehand as well, just like you were suggesting is the best way for Monfils.
A couple of Gael's pet hates, the sun and wind. They're both here today.
Yes.
14.
There's the wide serve. That
But you'd sit on it,
is
wouldn't you?
swinging away, yeah.
You would sit on it because if you look at the ball toss, it would suggest the only way you could actually hit that ball is by slicing it. Have you been surprised of Gael's longevity? I've been asked that question a lot, but what about, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, good question. Well, some eye-catching ball striking there. I've not really sort of considered it in any depth before, but when I think about it here, you know, I guess one thing that tends to limit a player's sort of longevity would be court coverage, movement, but it's such a strength of his. You know, let's say he is slightly slower than he used to be. He's still one of the best movers in the game, so I just think when you combine that with the fact that he just loves the sport, loves being out there hitting shots like that, and he's still competing at such a high level, and he's looking good here early on. Moves ahead 2-1. Just wonder as well, you know, he has been blighted by a fair number of injuries over the years, which obviously you would never choose, but I wonder if that's maybe kept him a little fresher now at this stage because he's had so many layoffs and frustrations. You know what I'm getting at? It's sort of,
it bought you a bit of time.
Yeah.
You get, that's one way of looking at it for sure, that it does buy you some time because you try and get over those injuries and you miss the game. So it sort of almost fills the tank up again, doesn't it?
And when you're coming back from something, gives you a bit of a purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the case. But, you know, knowing, you know, Gael and speaking to him as I do, he's just enjoying, he's actually enjoying playing the game now, and it's not a focus of his. The ranking doesn't mean anything really to him. You know, he likes being back out there. He still likes travelling. Doesn't have to do it as often as he once did.
He's now a father, of course, Monfils, married to Elina Svitolina. He's the second oldest man in the draw this year at the Australian Open, behind Stan Wawrinka, who's 39. He's just got him.
Who's no longer in the draw.
Yeah, true. So he's the oldest remaining. Gael Monfils.
And again, this is Gael's got we know his natural athleticism. He's got natural strength as well. He can hit the ball heavy. So going against the wind here, he has some freedom to really try and penetrate with his ball striking. For him, it's almost like playing on a clay court. Going against a breeze, you can hit it with flight and speed.
Yeah, I always like that. That's why I like playing into the breeze. It felt like you could hit the ball as hard as you want. It would never go long on you.
So that's a typical clay court point that Altmaier was playing there. He had the flighted ball. He pushed Gael Monfils deep to the backhand side and then went with that flighted ball to the forehand. So you got to make your mind up really quickly if you go. Use my athleticism to hold the court as much as I can, and be quite aggressive with the ball in that way. He doesn't want to be retrieving where the Melbourne sign is against the breeze. That's a lot of physical work. The exact point you're looking for. When you've got the ability to change the speed on the ball like Monfils does, you see that's the first one. Then there's the second one. This is the ball. Look at the flight over the net, and then he can flatten it out with that one. How's the footwork too?
Yeah, busy with the feet. He was burning rubber there. You got some pressure on Altmaier here. 15-30.
He had that huge win against Jannik Sinner at the French Open, didn't he? In 2023.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. So he's not afraid to go up against the big names, and when you have that scout, okay, Sinner wasn't the exact player that he is today, but he was pretty good at that time still.
Yeah, 2023 Roland Garros in the second round. Altmaier, the biggest win of his career, beating the then world number 9 Jannik Sinner in 5 sets. Just pushed it long. 6-7, 7-6, 1-6, 7-6, 7-5. 5 hours, 26 minutes. So don't worry about Altmaier's engine. It's just whether he's got enough game here to beat Monfils. It's a volley he should have been making. He just tried to be a little too cute back in behind, pushed it long. Here's the first break point of this contest.
To go back and return that 137-kilometre-hour serve and just flight it back there, it became a rally starter, and then he lost court position. I'd rather him step up on that. He knows he's not going to get a big serve.
Yeah, and it was almost, if you are going to go for rally starter, it's got to be enough to at least be sort of neutral in the rally. He just gave him an attackable ball, didn't he?
Be having a word to him at this end that hold your court position. We need you to hold closer court position.
these men thumping the ball here.
And that 30-shot rally was a better rally. I'm not sure if he's got a bug in his ear, but he did hold better court position that time. He was a lot tighter to the baseline, and it didn't. He was the one dictating. And when he steps around to get that mid-court ball, he can disguise it, look like he's going to go off and just come around the ball and hit that. That's a beauty.
And that's the first break of this match. Goes the way of Gael Monfils.
Monfils leads by
in good form, Monfils. And he's got his nose in front here. Well, we mentioned Gael Monfils, the oldest player remaining in the draw at 38. There's a player 20 years his junior going to be on here the last match of the day, and the Brazilian fans are in position already. He has taken this tournament by storm. João Fonseca, the 18-year-old, after his win over Andrei Rublev. Going to be playing Lorenzo Sonego, the Italian. That's a nice looking contest late into this evening.
And I'll be doing that match as well, so I'm looking forward to watching the young 18-year-old play. I'll be entertained, I think.
I saw Fonseca at breakfast this morning, Roger. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
Tall.
Yeah.
I quite appreciate that. Some serious power.
15.
Speaking of talented young players, Gael Monfils, 2004. Very nearly did the junior calendar Grand Slam. He won the Aussie Open, the French Open, Wimbledon. Just losing in the third round of the US Open to Victor Troitsky.
Yeah, and he had
a bit of a knee injury.
He told me about that. I can't remember the story that he told me around that, why he didn't. I mean, yeah, he had a slight injury, but there was something else around that, why he lost that match and didn't complete that, the 4 majors.
Well, here comes Daniel Altmaier.
15.
Looking to get the break of serve right back here.
To see what happens when you play passively, and someone's swinging with the breeze, it's not the way home.
Lens, second serve.
There is the break back. That's big from Altmaier. Pumps the fist.
Monfils leads by 3 games to 2.
Sorry.
Well, we saw the Brazilian fans. I mentioned Fonseca. The match following this also involves the Brazilian Beatriz Haddad Maia, the 15th seed. She'll be taking on Erika Andreeva, the sister of Mira. So 1573 following this match will turn into a little section of Brazil. It's going to be lively. We've got a lively start to this one as well.
Time.
This picture's so stunning. It almost looks fake, but I can assure you it isn't. Melbourne Park precinct, the Yarra River, and the CBD of Melbourne, just well, a 10 or 15 minute or so walk away. It's the most incredible city. Brilliant time to be here for the Australian Summer. That's why they call it the Happy Slam. Everyone loving their time here in Melbourne, Victoria. A good job here, Altmaier, consolidating the break back. No, and that is a sumptuous one-handed backhand there. Blue cap just leaning forward. Michael Coleman, the German Davis Cup captain, and then front left there of the box with a white cap, just gesturing to Altmaier. That's his coach, Martin Cuevas. Uruguayan, who recently retired from his own career. Challenger Tour player.
But it's interesting, the coach dynamics. You know, when someone just retires and they jump straight into coaching. It's quite an interesting concept, isn't it? No credentials. All of a sudden you can go from the player to managing a player.
Yep. I guess pros and cons of that.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you know, very current with knowledge of players on tour.
Yes.
You know, straight in with sort of, I guess, tactics and how the tour is operating. Cons, I guess, would be a lack of experience in sort of the nuances of actually coaching.
Yes, and also not, and you've got to become unselfish.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andy Murray will be experiencing that, like, more than anyone ever. You go from everything being about you to nothing being about you. He's unlucky there.
Gael makes you feel like he's not quite there. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not nimble, jumping on his toes and looking athletic at you. He's sort of just, he works his way around the court.
Yeah, he's unique in the way he goes about competing, isn't he? That's a careless, he rushed that second serve.
And again, Colin, this is with the sun in his eyes. It's always going to be probably his most difficult.
Third double, 1 of 9 second serve points won so far. And there's another second serve coming here. Monfils in trouble. That into the net. Monfils from 3-1 up. Falls 4-3 in a break behind here.
Altmaier leads by 4 games to 3.
feels like Monfils has paid the price for allowing Altmaier to control the majority of points here.
100%. It's been, for me, I thought I was going to get a different version, as I said. You know, I thought there was going to be a bit more of a person hitting with more deliberate energy. But this, you know, part of this, that we just saw was the game that he put up against in his first round against Petty Pericard. And that was relying on, you know, the fact that his opponent was really missing a lot. So here he's got a player who likes to play his shots. He plays off the back of the court, as you said, clay court. He's well established in hitting a lot of ground. He's lotting balls back into play. And then Gael's exposing himself, Gael, right now to having to defend. And I guess using his athletic profiling in the wrong way.
So Daniel Altmaier, the German, ranked 101 in the world. His turn to serve into the sun. He's got new balls in hand.
What about the single-handed backhand? Yeah, it's a good-looking shot, isn't it? They all are. Most single-handers, they look good, don't they?
They look very good. It's a question, I think, these days of how easy it is to compete with a one-handed backhand. Doing a little bit of research pre-match, there's 7 players in the world top 100 this week with one-handed backhands. There's 3 in the top 20. Dimitrov at 10, Tsitsipas 12, Musetti 15, and starts to fall away. And as I say, just 7 in the top 100. Is that something to do with the power, making it harder to operate with a one-hander, or is it just going out of fashion?
I just guess most young kids now growing up, they're taught 2 hands, aren't they? Yep. So, you know, there's not a coach going, no, why don't you go with your single-hander? We'll try that. It's not going to be good enough. Well, it is.
It's a lot easier when you're young and obviously not as strong as a fully developed sort of adult to play a two-handed backhand, isn't it, than one?
But if a young athlete came to you loving the single-hander, are you the coach that's going to say, well, I'm not sure if that's got a future, and you try and change it, or would you know, if they hit it pretty well, would you let them go with it? Interesting. If you asked a lot of coaches, I think most of them, I don't know. They may flirt with the idea of changing.
Yeah, personally, I would let them keep it.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer. You know, if they enjoy something, enjoyment is key.
Yeah.
You never know where your tennis journey is going to go, so I would say you go for it, knowing the potential difficulties. But yeah, I'd hate to be a coach that came in and said, "Nah, you got to change the 2." If the one-hander is really not working, then maybe it's a different discussion.
Yes. Now with those 7, normally when you look at the single-handers, you think Gasquet, Wawrinka, Dimitrov. Where else could I go with those great single-handers?
Dominic Thiem recently retired.
Thiem. Normally you've got an exceptional single-hander. Run me through the rest of that list, because I think there are a few guys there that you'd probably go,
okay, we can go through all 7. There aren't that many of them. No. You can rate them. We'll start at the top. Grigor Dimitrov.
Yeah, that's top end.
And the slice, phenomenal.
Yeah, slice.
Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Oh yes, it's been a quality shot, hasn't it?
Lorenzo Musetti.
Yeah,
very good.
Like that.
Pesci Pericard.
No. Probably the worst shot in his artillery.
Cain.
That wasn't a great return there from Monfils, so Altmaier 4 games in a row.
Altmaier leads by
He's
5
just a
games
game away
to
from this
3.
opening set. Let's quickly round them out. Denis Shapovalov, 56 in the world.
It's pretty good.
It's good and bad, isn't it?
It's good and bad. And Petri Pericard's probably, that backhand's probably ranked about 500, maybe worse.
Chris O'Connell.
It's a good backhand for him, yeah.
Yep,
I think it's one of his weapons.
Dusan Lajovic is the last. He's 80 in the world.
And that's been a nice backhand,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
I just think if you are going with a one-hander, it needs to be a good shot. Petri Pericard probably gets away with it because of the serve.
Yes, he gets away with it purely because of the serve. And it's, as I said, it's not even in the top 500, that backhand.
15.
Is that harsh?
No.
The harsh ranking?
Daniel Altmaier, if he wins here, might be making it 8 one-handed backhands back in the top 100. He's sitting at 101 this week. Well, there's some big hitting from Monfils.
But that's, that eliminates any aggressive movement that you have to do when you can hit the ball this well. And this doesn't have to be every single point, but he's got so much energy on his shots. How he's let a 3-1 lead slip in this set. That's hasn't been good.
Oh. 40-50.
It looks like he's currently in a flat spot, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. To say, Altmaier looking the more intense of the two players. Never count Gael Monfils out
Gael Monfils.
And he stopped the rot. Amount of 4 games against him. And will at least ask Daniel Altmaier to serve out this opening set. Monfils, a reminder, was 3-1 ahead, so he has broken Altmaier. Should be telling himself that he's capable of getting this break back. There's the man currently charged with coaching Gael Monfils in the blue t-shirt, arms crossed. That's Mikael Tillström.
And there was a little period in the middle of that set where
Time.
Tillström was saying to Monfils to press up a little bit. I need you a little closer. And he would have been having the same thoughts. Put the energy in the right places.
Plenty of French support here on 1573. They're trying to give Monfils some energy. Altmaier serving for the opening set. Legitimate shot, and he just jammed Altmaier up there. That's the one you taught him, Rog.
Yeah, don't be friendly. Why would you hit around and give them the opportunity to use their racket? It's almost like you need to be polite on that ball. Gee, that's a poor decision there. And you know, again, it was the rally starter. I'm surprised Gael's not shaping up to just run around and hit his forehand and hit it aggressively like he would on the clay court off that return. 134. It's doing nothing, and Gael's just starting that rally, playing up through the middle of the court. He challenges you with his different spins, doesn't he, in his speeds? You know, he'll accelerate one, then slice one, then loop one. So he does give you that variation, but it's not a great way home.
See what Monfils does with this second serve. Well, it was a very good one, by far the best second serve Altmaier has hit. 152 kilometres an hour. It's the quickest.
And again, I don't think it should burn you out wide. The breeze is coming down. Monfils working down with the breeze, so the ball's going to cut away on that wide serve. You've got to be ready for that.
Could be a costly miss.
And I guess this is why he hasn't had a lot of wins, as many wins on the hard court. His forward half of the court, the craft is not good because it doesn't have a great feel for the craft. I mean, that's sin. Pat Rafter missed one of those.
I think he went a whole career without missing one of those.
Yeah, I don't think he ever missed one.
2 break-back points.
Well, anyone who played the forward half of the court would swear on the fact that they would not miss that chip approach. Okay, a few missed, but not many.
There's the break back. This topsy-turvy opening set continues. Monfils strikes and levels us at 5 games on.
And again there, we saw, you know, I guess the different changes with Gael. He comes at you with different speeds, and in his mind he decides how he feels like he needs to play the point. But Altmaier, again, when he came forward, didn't really quite understand how to look after the... I mean, he was gone after the volley. The volley wasn't a good one. So, again, knowing where to hit that volley or what type of volley to hit, and then look after the real estate.
He was never worried, Gael. He always knew he could break back.
Yeah, just let the crowd, you know...
But the last time Altmaier was broken, to go 3-1 behind, he broke back the very next game, and here he comes again.
And again, this is, you know, this is an end where he struggles with, because he's dealing with that sun. Better ball striking. Didn't have great position, but it was better ball. It's got more intent. I'm a lover of the Frenchman when he's got the intent. His creative intent.
Central from Monfils, but able to just outlast. He's going to pretend he needs to fix his tongue on his shoe there, but he just buying some time, I think.
Yeah.
That's the old classic, isn't it? Oh, I need to tie my lace. And
you got the clock now, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
It's pretty easy if you want to buy time. With 1 second to go, you just throw the ball up in the wrong spot. And the clock doesn't restart. But isn't that right? If you need a breather, you just step up
50.
the line and you just wait for the clock, and it's got one to go, and you throw it up. And oh, sorry.
There's a few games that can be played, I'm sure. Monfils did well there, just dealing with that miss-hit return.
The wind nearly blew him over.
Four games in a row for Altmaier. Now 3 games in a row for Monfils, and he moves to within a game of this opening set.
Monfils leads by 6 games to 5.
Twice a quarter-finalist here, Gael Monfils, 2016, where he lost to Milos Raonic, and 2022, where he fell to Matteo Berrettini. He's a 2-time Grand Slam semi-finalist, though. 2008 Roland Garros, 2016 US Open, losing to Federer and Djokovic in those respective matches.
Time.
Last time Daniel Altmaier served, it was for this set. Now he's going to have to hold to stay in it.
Crowd, not a seat free. The ones that are people have just gone out and still hold those seats. It's jam packed in here. He's funny to watch, isn't he? He's enjoyable to watch, but he's a head shaker as well, because when you've got this weapon, the ability to just change the speed like that, you're bringing it out a few more times.
Yeah, you just think, why not do that more? Yeah,
just to set points up, because he could get the opposition in such a defensive state a lot of the time, especially Altmaier, who doesn't comfortably play on this court. He's handy, but it's not his natural DNA, is it?
He's got the wind in his sails on a breezy day.
That was good, Colin.
Trying my best, thank you.
I'd just like to acknowledge, when people do good work.
Monfils is certainly doing some good work. It's amazing the way he's been able to knuckle down here. Trying to make a move here for this opener. A head-scratching point from Daniel Altmaier.
It's more than that. That was a brain fade, because how do you drop shot? You're going with the breeze, and then you hit a lob drop shot to one of their great athletes. Even at 38,
And even a lob downwind is very difficult. 2 set points now for Monfils. Can you believe he's gone for the drop shot again? Monfils doesn't care. He pumps his fist because he's won the first set here. It was topsy-turvy, but 50 minutes, he's got it. 7 games to 5. Altmaier had his moments as well. These guys ready to go for set 2.
Let's see how
Love 50.
how that ending there translates into the opening of this set. Especially if Gael can get a jump and get this first game.
It's a risk, Roger, that Altmaier brings, I guess, some mental baggage from the last 2 points of that first set into the second. He's got to try and clear his mind, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
13-50.
And sometimes, you know, I've seen players when Gael's in this type of space with his ball striking. And when I say space, there are a lot of mid-court balls, middle rally balls, not much pace on. It almost drives you a little bit insane, you know, because it's you trying to create the speed all the time, and a lot of players like the speed of an opposition.
Gain, Monfils.
Monfils holds to 15.
First game, second set.
That's now 5 games in a row for the Frenchman.
Yeah, it was a staggering ending. It was hard to work out, except now you've got to step up and how do you refocus, and what can he do a little different, Altmaier? I don't think there's much more to his game, to be honest. You know, I think what you see is what you get. You know, could he come forward a little bit, you know, and really put Gael on a little bit of defence, considering he's getting access to a lot of full swinging shots where he's in control, maybe. Gael does like a target. You know, he likes that sort of cat and mouse game. You feel like this next little piece, it's either it could blow out quick.
Yeah, if Monfils is ruthless here, he
Yes.
senses an opportunity to move 2 sets ahead pretty quickly. Altmaier is cutting a frustrated figure. And that's not going to help his mood any.
Love 30.
It's like he's just mentally lost his way completely. He's frustrated, and the conditions can frustrate you too. You know, it's breezy. That would be all the mixed emotions in his head at the moment. He would not be channeled in the alleyway of just looking at the court and his opponent. The conversations he'd be having with himself, I think.
the breeze just helping keep it in the court.
And it was always going to be trouble because you're hitting a ball, wasn't an aggressive ball strike.
40.
Monfils was always in a position to track that down, and as the ball's getting to him, it's slowing down.
Altmaier may have just heard that venting in Spanish there. Oh, he's just missed it. It was there for the Hollywood finish. And if there was one man you want to play that shot, it was Gael Monfils, but he couldn't quite find the trajectory.
How did he miss this? This is his creative mind right here.
This was a great shot from Altmaier, goodness me, to get that up and over and in the court.
Oh, he'd be so disappointed that he's missed this. In his wheelhouse, big time, that was.
Could that just be a little mini turning point as well? That would have been a break had he made that round the net shot. He's got one more opportunity here. It's an incredible dig from Altmaier because the net cord was centimetres from the net and somehow he got it up and over and in the court. Survives the 3 break points. Monfils very passive there in his play.
You just need to hit. He literally, Gael needs to hit one ball with a bit of speed on it and with some direction, and you've got control of the point from that end. Staggering.
Questionable drop shots to lose the first set, but that was a nice one there. And 5 points in a row for Altmaier. Really good effort to come through an opening hold in this second set. So there's the proof, isn't it? That was one forehand from Gael that had a little bit of purpose. You know, had a lot of energy on it, and you've got your opponent in defence. Yeah, and the thing for me when Monfils hits big like that, it doesn't look risky.
Oh, it's not
because his technique is so good. He spins the ball. There's margin. You just think it looks so repeatable. Why not do it more?
Yeah. Especially when you've got a break point, or 3 of them.
And also, Roger, when you've won Auckland, you've played a long 5-set of the first round, you would think shortening things would be a good idea.
Yeah, let's get out of it.
Shortening the points, but also potentially trying to shorten this match. That ace will help. Quick hold. Monfils ahead, set 2-1.
Monfils leads by 2 games to 1.
That's it, put your feet up. Enjoy the tennis. Hope you're doing something similar at home. Maybe with a nice refreshing drink in hand.
Time.
38 years and 147 days. Monfils is bidding to become the 4th oldest man to reach the 3rd round at the Australian Open. That's since 1988, which is significant because that's when we moved to this 128 player draw. Any idea the other 3 players who have made the 3rd round here, older than 38?
Well,
none of them still playing, unfortunately.
Well, I'd have to. My initial thought would be Federer.
Yep.
Because I'm just thinking of the people in the mid-30s that were that good, that could do that.
2020, Federer, aged 38 years, 178 days, made the 3rd round.
You're going to have to help me with a few others.
There's a left-handed Spaniard, not Nadal.
Lopez.
Feliciano. 39 years, 154 days in 2021.
And wow, didn't he play an enormous amount of consecutive majors? I can't remember what that number was, but
yeah, he's the record holder. We're going to look that up.
And give me the 3rd one too.
Well, we mentioned that Pechi Pericard, the big server. This guy had a huge serve, known as the Doctor.
Yeah.
15-30.
Don't remind me. He did disrupt my man at Wimbledon in 2003.
And that was one of the great, well, not great for you, but Grand Slam shocks, wasn't it?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was,
as defending champion, it was okay.
I don't think many people could believe that. Ivo Karlovic.
But then now, you can understand how that could happen.
Yes.
Because of how the serving day that he had. And it was funny trying to explain that to, especially a lot of some Australian past players that, what in my head really, at that time? How could you not get that result? Well, I was trying to get them to understand that you go and stand behind that serve, try and hit that serve if the serve's on.
Speaking of serves, that was a weak second there, a double fault from Altmaier, and saved 3 break points. His opening service game this set. He's facing 2 more now. First one is well saved, just.
Almost landed in, didn't it? But Gael did a good job of getting his racket to that ball. So you'd hope if the rally's in play here that Gael decides to own the point on his terms. Now he's setting up for a forehand. Let's see if he decides to take that forehand on.
That is a Gael Monfils special. I mean, where do you start? The most provocative of return positions, as if he was going to rip it, and 4 of the slowest forehands you've ever seen. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to 1573 Arena here on day 5, where we have the oldest man remaining in the draw, Gael Monfils, 38 years of age, and he's going okay, because he's a set and a break here against Daniel Altmaier, but it has been a bit of a topsy-turvy affair.
Well, it's been a Gael Monfils that's given us a bit of everything that you can experiment with on a tennis court. If you want to hit it firm, yeah, have a go at that. If you just want to pat it around a little bit, he's played every sort of flighted ball possible. It's been licorice all sorts, hasn't it?
Yeah, quick synopsis. Altmaier 3-1 down in the first, then moved 5-3 ahead. Served for it 5-4, but well, from 5-3, lost 5 games in a row to lose the set, fall behind in the second. It's a match that really has been on Monfils' racket, but as Roger Rashid is so expertly broken down for us, you know, it's head scratching at times, the way he approaches the game. He's often allowing Altmaier to attack, but he's looking good, the Auckland champion, setting a break to the good. There he is, he's always going to get to that one. Still one of the great athletes in this sport.
And what's exceptional with Gael, he loves these little games here. Look at the way he just drops the ball in front of Altmaier. Then here, this is a perfect game, fun scenario for Gael, that setup.
Starting to enjoy himself.
And a lot of players, if they had just absorbed this last hour and 9, if they were Gael, they wouldn't be, they'd be frustrated. But Gael can actually put this in as he can live with it. He can live with the fact that it's not it's not the way you should necessarily play tennis full time. And it might be head scratching for us, but it might drive us crazy a little if we were doing that on the court. But for Gael, he can just, oh well, you know, I'm finding my way. It's working. I'm not going to stress it. It's like, why stress the small stuff?
Yeah, even at 5-3 down in the first, he didn't look overly concerned. And he's now in complete control of this second round match. Monfils strides to the chair, and he's ahead. A set 4-1.
4 games to 1.
When he just cranks it up, even just one notch, Altmaier can't live with him.
No, it's different, isn't it? And that's what I thought we would see throughout the course of the match. Just a bigger, more powerful, athletic.
Just quickly, Rod, just on the left of shot there, we're just missing the French Davis Cup captain, Paul-Henri Mathieu, and I believe he's sitting alongside Ivan Lubicic, the former world number 3, who has a role with the FFT, the French Federation of Tennis. Got himself a nice straw hat.
Time.
Day 5 here, the Australian Open. As I mentioned at the break, just on the left of shot in the blue t-shirt, Paul-Henri Mathieu, French Davis Cup captain, alongside the man in the straw hat. That is Ivan Lubicic. He's right into the Aussie summer, isn't he? Yeah,
and loving the Frenchman.
Showtime on 1573. You just knew Monfils was going to go for something special here. We've seen some pretty special shots this Australian Open, but Altmaier was wise to this one.
Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
I'm just going to say it feels now
15.
that Monfils is a lot more comfortable with the conditions. He was struggling with the breeze, the sun. He's feeling it now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just mindset. You know, you've got to walk. You walk on the court. You know it's going to be windy. You know you're playing when the sun's above. Just absorb it.
And at a set 4-1, he's having fun as well.
Yeah.
13-15.
He's the champion in Auckland last week, Monfils, the 13th title of his career. 6-1, 5-2 down in the first round to Pedro Martinez. coming back to win that and indeed the title. He beat the 30th seed, Giovanni Pesci-Pericard, his compatriot. 5 sets in round 1. Altmaier got a win over Francisco Comasana, the Argentine. That was also a 5-setter. His first ever win here at the Australian Open for Altmaier. His 4th appearance. He's clipped the line.
And he's got a great ability to manipulate the wrist on impact, does the Frenchman. He can find all parts of the court, and courtesy of that.
Gael Monfils.
So Altmaier in that game decided to hit a serve volley point as well. So he is back thinking of ways that can help him in this match. But I just feel pound for pound, if they're both engaged, that Gael's got all these different gears and all these different tools at his disposal.
Set the point up so well, just couldn't find the finish.
And it's hard to find the finish when you're foreign to that part of the court, because once you turn up, as he did here, following with this shot, you're not actually sure. You don't believe in yourself of what ball do I play at that time. I haven't done it enough. I don't spend enough time up there, so why would I be comfortable when I have to come in during a match? It's one of my, I guess it's one of my pet peeves a little bit, about how often players will spend their time at the forward half of the net learning the craft.
The winners are flowing now for Monfils. 11th off that big forehand. And he's keeping the scoreboard ticking here, the 38-year-old.
Monfils leads by 5 games to 2.
Shots, a few next generation fans in the crowd. Hot Shots, Tennis Australia initiative. Altmaier taking on board some energy gels. He's still invested in his future in this match. You would think he needs to find something here though to try and recover this second set. 2 sets to love lead from Monfils. Be tough to recover from.
Time.
Well, it's a continental European battle at the moment on 1573, but it's going to turn into a Brazilian carnival. The next 2 matches involving Brazilians. Beatriz Haddad-Maia next, followed by João Fonseca, the 18-year-old, who's been taking this tournament by storm. A lot of chat around the grounds about the young Brazilian after his upset win over Andrei Rublev Brazilian fans getting into position, sensing a great afternoon and evening. Be some samba magic, Roger.
There will be. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Do you think that Altmaier is still a believer that he could win this match? If you asked him right now.
It's a great question. I think so. I don't necessarily think he's focusing on that right now, and I think it's probably the right approach. You just got to go point by point and compete, don't you, and see where it can take you. But if he loses this set, sits down 2 sets to love down, he's never come back from 2 sets to love down in his career, and I might give you a different answer. And he's popped up there. He's cleared his mind. He's thinking positively.
Yeah,
he's going to ask the question, Monfils, to serve this out.
5 games to 3.
Yeah, that's a good game. That's what you want to do. Put the ball back down the other end of the court and ask your opponent to serve it out. And then if he'd said yes, my next question would be, how do you go about that? Like, what's going to change the course of the match?
It's a sharp start.
Is it just, you know, I'll be relying on hopefully the other players' level to come down? Or is it, I'm probably needing to change something?
I think the mindset's key. He was negative at the start of this set, and that certainly didn't help. You've got to accept Monfils is playing better now. Accept that challenge and be positive. Compete. Tactically, I mean, he's had most success in this match when he's stepped up the court and been the aggressor in the points. You want to look for that as often as possible.
Yeah.
Your point is absolutely right. He's not overly comfortable at the net, but I think he's going to have to be prepared to, well, be comfortable being uncomfortable, if you like. Come forward, try and get the job done. And Monfils is cruising here. This is very solid stuff.
14.
Just the game the 38-year-old was looking for. He's got himself 3 set points for a 2-set lead. And he sees it out with an ace. He's on a 6-match win streak, Gael Monfils, and he's on his way to number 7 here. Is that the sort of tennis that Altmaier needs to play if he's going to have a chance?
Yeah, let's do something different. You know, because if you don't do something different in this set, it's just going to be a bit of routine, I think. You know, Gael won't, you know, your chance to get for Altmaier to have gotten Gael was that first set when he got ahead.
Yeah, he served for that first set 5-3. Didn't play the best of games, and that set eventually got away from him.
And Gael's tennis has improved, so you're not going to get that version again, I don't think. So, yeah, you roll the dice. Have a little bit of fun with it out there and just get yourself a little, as you said, you need to be uncomfortable on the court. There you go. Because there's been so many balls that are sat in those zones,
14.
and to not deal with them like that and be looking to come forward. If you get it a little bit wrong, yes, Gael does like a target. He likes that type of cat and mouse game, but you still would back yourself in winning a lot of points at the net. It does favour the net player if they're coming in off the right shots.
Well, that is a positive start to the 3rd set from Altmaier.
The 3rd set.
German has never come back from 2 sets to love down in his career, so he's looking to achieve that for the first time here, and There's a long way to go, but game by game, you never know.
And that's a hard process, because yes, you've got to stay in the present, but there's also in the back of your mind is you're actually not sure how that would even look. Whereas players that have been here, that have done it over and over, and there's not a lot that have done that, but they've got a bit of belief in the fact that it can happen. And the other issue is, you know, it was like Petchy Pericard in the first round against Monfils, when Monfils had match points, served double fault in the third set, tiebreak, goes on to lose that. Petchy Pericard had this serve that could get him out of games. And Petchy Pericard could also work, you know, have a lot of his service games where there weren't many. Where he didn't have to defend his serve.
13-15.
Altmaier's different. He's going to have to defend his serve a lot to get himself back into a position where he's contesting a fifth set.
Well, it's been a positive start from Altmaier. Just gone 2:17 in the afternoon here, local time. It was very breezy early on in this match. Feels like that breeze has settled a little. He's serving into the wind that we have had. It's been a factor on that type of ball. It just drifts along, and Altmaier, he's playing with the wind at this moment. Monfils levels up this third set.
1 game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game from Altmaier there. Liked his first service game when he was pushing up against the breeze, but that one there, again, just get a little proactive. Take some risks. If it's high risk for you, that's fine. It's great for him to get a little bit of data on what that looks like, and you know, you make a couple, you tend to go back there and reinvest.
The 50.
Cuevas, the coach of Altmaier. Cuevas was playing on the Challenger Tour recently. Here's one for you, Roger. 2022. Altmaier beat his now coach.
Did he?
In 2 straight sets.
So don't turn around for advice from 2 sets to love down, is that what you're saying?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? The player-coach relationship. 50. ever there's a disagreement, well, what are you talking about? I beat you a couple of years ago, so
Don't give me that.
you wouldn't have taken that, would you? And this is getting away from Altmaier in a hurry here. Another error, and it's another fist bump for Gael Monfils. The 38-year-old is looking good. 2 sets and a break.
Monfils leads by 2 games to 1.
I think your point about the first set is absolutely spot on. That was Altmaier's chance. He wasn't just ahead in the score, but Monfils was struggling a little with the conditions. He was pushing the ball, and since then, Monfils been by far the better player.
Yeah, he wasn't married to the conditions, and I think when you walk out onto any court, regardless of the conditions, they have to be your friend. You've got to be prepared to put your arms around them and actually embrace the conditions and work with them. Gael didn't do that at the start, and that was where his tennis was probably at its most porous. But if you get through that, it becomes a big win for you.
Time.
There's not a spare seat on 1573 Arena. Plenty of Gael Monfils fans. Plenty of Brazilians also streaming in now for what's to come.
Better ball striking, standing up on the baseline when he had the opportunity to. The German. And he hasn't, Altmaier, used the coaching rule that's available to you, has he? Not at the level, I think, when you're 2 sets love down. That good ball striking there. It was a bit up and down through the middle of the court, and I thought it was going to go into catch Altmaier out. And when I go back to the coaching part, you know, you're a set to break down. I'm investing in this is when I can invest in the coaches. I can actually have the conversations and have some significant ones, but maybe that's not quite the relationship they have.
Yeah, it's, I believe, a relatively new relationship with Cuevas. He had been working with Alberto Mancini, Altmaier. 3 break points here, though. Almost out of nothing.
Let's. A second serve.
Gee, there's been some really slow second serves, haven't there?
Well, there's nothing slow about that backhand from Altmaier. He has ripped that one-hander. And we're back on serve here in the 3rd set.
2 games on.
And just the intent there, you know, I just feel like for Gael, this can happen. So that your first point of the set of your service game every time, I need to have really good intent. I want to just get ahead of the count. If I'm ahead of the count, I'm probably going to take care of business. Every single first, that was always a message that I loved with my players, that what's your first point look like? Because you know what the odds are. The odds are very much stacked in your favour, aren't they? If you're ahead of the count early in your service games.
And Altmaier there, he became dangerous. 2 sets of breakdown, almost just opening the shoulders, having a swing, and he's got some power.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to see, something different. And if you make them, you make them. If you create a few unfirst errors and you go down in 3 sets, but you offered something different, I'm happy with that.
New balls in play here for the German. Big, just a little too big with the final backhand. You mentioned Monfils winning his 13th tour level title in Auckland. Here's a stat for you, Roger. You like this one? Being an Aussie, 38 years, 132 days, became the oldest winner of a tour level men's singles title since Ken Rosewall won the 1977 Hong Kong Open, aged 43.
You gotta like that.
Maybe Monfils will be winning titles at 43. You wouldn't bet against him.
He may be. He disappointed with that shot there at 30 all. Had a good look at the pass. I saw Ken Rosewall in Brisbane only a week and a half ago. Still, now I'm just trying to think. Is Ken, I'm going to say 90.
Bingo. Years of age and still fit as a fiddle, I'm sure.
He is. Looks the same.
Juice.
Looks the same. Can probably hit a backhand slice as well as he ever used to. You don't lose your shots, do you?
Nickname Muscles. I thought that was your nickname.
Yeah, no, I'd let him use it for a while.
Yeah, that's a nice move from Altmaier. Just the 4th time that he's served volley, and he's won 3 of them. You might want to think about doing that more often.
Yeah, again, something a little different. Gael does chip the ball back. He gives you looks with those off-pace shots. So how often can you capitalise on it and make something happen with those?
Oh, that is magnificent. Altmaier turning into a version of Stefan Edberg.
Altmaier leads by 3 games to
Where did that come from?
I'm not sure, but that's what happens when you do try things. You know, you never know what stimulates you, what you might come up with, and all of a sudden you're in a different type of battle. You're a bit stimulated. It fills the tank a little. That was good work, entertaining for the crowd.
Beautiful day in Melbourne. None of the rain that we saw yesterday.
Not as hot. Good
yeah.
conditions for the players. Great conditions, actually.
Yeah, 21, 22 degrees.
That's about as, I mean, that's as comfortable as you can get for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, this morning I was up really early. It was 11, 12 degrees. It was pretty cool.
Beautiful day here in Melbourne, Australia. German flag starting to fly on the breeze. It's at Melbourne Park, home of the Australian Open, continues to evolve and develop. 500% increase in shade around the grounds, and 1573 Arena been a big beneficiary of that. You can see the shade around the top section of the stands. But in truth, at 21, 22 degrees today, it's a lovely day to be watching and indeed playing tennis.
That's okay. I can live with that. I can live with stepping in and being on top of the court and going after the ball. Again, it's not his normal way.
Talk to me about Monfils, a player in his position here, where you're well ahead in the match and your opponent has almost not given up, but decided that this isn't going my way, so I'm just going to have a swing. It can be tricky.
40, 50.
It can be tricky. So in your head, you're thinking, oh, well, this is, you know, he's trying something different. There's going to be unforced errors up his end of the court because it's not his comfort.
Oh.
So you can you'll accept some flashy tennis. There's no doubt about that. You have to, because it's a little different, and you'll see what it looks like. And I guess he'll just play, you know, for Gael, he'll just play point for point. He won't try. There'll be nothing around that tennis that would change his game, because he would be at the casino thinking, well, who would I rather be at this stage?
The odds are in my favour.
Yeah.
It's careless though.
Yeah, that's.
Juice.
Ball toss got away from him. His game potentially getting away from him. He led 40 love.
And he does, you know, he does naturally slide the serve. He likes a few little concerns there for Tillstrom, but
oh, he's defended the net there. Nonchalant pass. A survival act for Monfils.
Advantage, Monfils.
He just got as close to the net as he possibly could.
and then here it was just a little too low for Altmaier to rip, wasn't it? Wasn't quite in the position.
Now there is the hold.
Gael Monfils.
A little scrappy, but ultimately levels us at 3-all here.
3 games.
As you mentioned, Mikael Tillström, the Swede, Monfils' coach. He was 39 in the world himself, Australian Open quarterfinalist. 1996, losing to Michael Chang. He runs the co-runs, I should say, the Good to Great Tennis Academy in Stockholm, Sweden, alongside Magnus Norman and Nicholas Kulti. Magnus Norman, the coach of Stan Wawrinka, who was the oldest player to start this tournament at 39. Monfils, the second oldest.
15 left.
Gael's got this like little look of stress on his face. You know, I just would have thought he would have been lapping this part up, just freely playing away. And you got to remember, he did serve for a match in his first round when he was comfortably leading 2-0 and in a tiebreak at 6-4 in the third. Isn't it funny, the greats of the game, when they had themselves in that position where they're 2-0 up and a break, I mean, it was full throttle, wasn't it? They just freed up and played some big tennis. They just took you. It was a runaway train.
Yeah.
It was hard to slow them down.
Yeah, the best players, some of the best front runners.
Yeah, well, they virtually all are once they get ahead. It was very hard. Their winning records are extraordinary once they're ahead.
That is a Monfils special. Not many players would have got to that ball, let alone hit it for a winner. But this guy has been doing it for the best part of 2 decades.
And this is what he loves. He loves this style. Just gives you an off-pace ball here. And that volley, as we said, he's not familiar with the forward half of the court. So that volley going back towards deep through the court was always going to allow Monfils to track it down as a pearler.
Let's. Second serve.
So that's the mentality. He just doesn't. He hasn't quite got that one right. So that second serve, you step around it and you hit that slow flighter ball back, and it exposes the other side of the court. You're on your bike running or riding. Can you run on your bike?
I certainly can. Gael Monfils might be able to somehow. Probably dance on a bike. He can dance anywhere.
He'd have one of those bikes that no pedals and just use your feet. You know?
That's Fred Flintstone, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's his car.
He'd be pretty good at that, I think, Gael.
I'm doing well just to try and get through a hole here. Just drifts long, maybe just on the breeze. Reached a crucial junction here in this third set. 3-all juice. Finish line starting to come into sight for Monfils. That's nice. First time he served volleyed on the second serve, and it was effective.
So this has been a set that I'll put a big tick in front of Altmaier. There's no doubt about it. It's not going to be the way forward for him full time, but it just shows that having that little bit of variety gives your opponent a different look, and it's really important to be able to do that.
just missed time in the forehand. And we got ourselves a very competitive third set here.
Altmaier leads by 4 games to 3.
Been made to work here in the third set. Monfils did lead by a break, remember. And Altmaier is he's not going away. Not going to hand this to the Frenchman.
I did think that we were going to get this real entertainment package from Gael once he broke.
It's time.
He was going to just show us his big array of shots.
Give us an insight, Roger. You were in the trusted circle with Monfils. We always talk about him being one of the greatest athletes, movers to play this game. How much emphasis did he put on the physical side? How much is natural? How much was he in the gym, on the track, doing the hard yards?
I would say before we got together, it was a lot of natural. And there was obviously a bit of the conditioning stuff that was going on. What I was excited to explore, which Gael actually wanted, he wanted me to put him into the space, was I guess that elite delivery. And so, and I said to him, well, you are a great athlete, but that doesn't mean you can't just be this superpower. And we spent a lot of time then on the athletic profiling of him, and that made him just stronger for longer. And in doing that, well, that's wild. Here's a big moment. And in doing that, gee, what you got exposed to, just his athleticism, his ability to run the hundreds, and his bounding, his jumping, his, you know, the lifting that he could do. And he could notice the difference on the tennis court. It took his, I guess it took his natural gifts and just made them more resilient.
What was his 100-meter time?
Well, he ran a 10.89.
I was going to say, was it under 11? So
yeah, it was 10.89, and by the way, he had runners on. Now, you know, that's not with the official timing, but it was under 11.
No wonder it's tough to hit a winner against him. Good recovery there to a shaky start to this game. Seems to have lost a little bit of rhythm on serve. Oh, well, there's another double fault. He really has lost the feeling, lost the confidence. 8 double faults for the match now, 5 in this set.
It's funny because that first court is the hardest place to serve from because the sun's swinging into that position. But this here, he should have some relief from the sun.
Two big first serves to bail himself out.
And you just need to sit on the wide. Give Gael the serve that goes down the middle. Give it to him if he hits it. But generally he wants wide. You can see Altmaier not really wide enough. Shouldn't have had to stretch for that
Advantage,
ball. And again here he needs to be creeping towards the middle.
Oh, that's just too good. A Jekyll and Hyde service game from Monfils. 2 double faults, really shaky. And suddenly the first serve coming to the fore. And we're level here, 4 games all. 1973 arena, that centre of the city in the background, the CBD.
Yeah, I like it. Excellent from the German.
15.
Made a big decision in this set that I am going to hit the ball and come forward and just put myself in that position and see what information I get from it. It's been quite rewarding for him. What's the net points one?
9 from 7, excuse me, 7 from 9 in this set. 3 from 3 serve volley.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Very.
Take those odds.
There he is again, tidying up at the net.
13.
Net points won for the match, not quite as tidy as we saw there, 23 of 38. Just feels like in this set, though, because he's was committed more mentally to doing it, the success has come.
Yeah, and also Gael's not, you know, he's retreating, so you've got time to see the ball. Very healthy service game.
14.
He gets right, and he ripped the backhand. And Daniel Altmaier now just a game away from taking this set.
Altmaier leads by 5 games to 4.
Better late than never. I do sort of wonder, where was this at 5-3 serving?
Yeah.
5-4 serving in the first, the sort of
Well, he wasn't
attacking
prepared.
play.
He wasn't prepared to, because that's not how he gets the job done normally. So, but you can see when you do decide to make a change, if you're invested in it, it narrows the way. It streamlines everything for you. So you're playing with a different type of calm, I think, and a different type of committed, invested court profile. If he does this for the rest of the, if he happens to eke out this set, can he win playing like that the whole way?
Time.
I'd rather have a shot at that.
Gael Monfils, 38-year-old, ranked 41 in the world. Led by 2 sets and a break here. It's been a good fight back from Daniel Altmaier. And the test in front of the Frenchman now is serving to stay in this third set.
And for Gael, he wants to finish this off in the set. No, you don't want to keep extending yourself and taking your body to these places.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, the winner of this match likely to face the 4th seed Taylor Fritz. He's currently set up on Christian Garin on Margaret Court Arena. If you were Gael Monfils, he'd certainly want to be fresh for that one. He's going to have to do some running.
That's a poor miss from Altmaier.
15.
That ball had to just get into play.
Yeah, you're just looking to put it in the court, aren't you?
Middle of the court. You got to understand what the scoreboard is saying. like the change-up.
30-15.
Just the second serve and volley point from Monfils today. Looked as if that was clipping the line, but live electronic line calling telling us it had missed. Great defense from Monfils, hanging in the point. Test passed for Monfils. Pretty convincingly in the end.
And you can just see whenever the Frenchman wants to accelerate on the ball, what the outcome looks like up the other end. Instantly puts the German in defence.
We've seen that sort of hangdog look from Monfils before, haven't we?
Yeah,
Don't be fooled.
No, that's the way he gets ready for the point.
Just means he's about to explode into action. It's crunch time in this third. In. How does he do it? This guy's 38 years old and he's moving around here like a gazelle. A special moment from a special player.
Love 50.
Well, we don't expect anything less, do we? What a pearler, what a point.
Maybe just the breeze helping that ball stay in the court. He's into the wind at the moment, Monfils. Big start to this game.
Gael doing a great job there. All he did then was challenge Altmaier to keep going after the ball, and he did that in a flighted way, so he had to play shots at about shoulder height. And from there, with the single-hander to try and do something aggressive, it's not so easy. But that was a smart point.
Well done, Daniel Altmaier. Keeping his focus.
15-30.
And you can see what Monfils is trying to do. He's basically just tempting, isn't he? He's tempting his opponent. I don't like it. I think there's a point you can play. Play a point if you want to like that and get a result. But then the next time you get a chance to step up and actually control the point, why not do that? Save that running that you've just done.
That's what we've seen throughout the set.
30.
From Altmaier. It's been a really good fight.
If you're Altmaier here, you're thinking wide serve. Gael will chip the ball back. The one shot that Gael has barely used, I can only remember it once, is his backhand down the line. And it's such a good shot. He hits it so naturally. He refused to sort of step in and just change direction with his backhand.
Again, he's doubled over, taking on board some oxygen. This is brilliant. Second round Grand Slam action here at the Australian Open. These guys are leaving it all out here. Well played, Daniel Altmaier. He's a game away from the third set once more.
Altmaier leads by 6 games to 5.
That was gutsy. I have to say, love 30, especially the way he lost the second point, the miss hit backhand. He thought he's going here. No, he came back 4 points in a row.
Yeah, and he got let off the hook, really, for mine, because that soft point.
Third point of the game.
Yeah, and he took advantage of it. All credit to him, Altmaier, because he is taking advantage of the ball and the opportunities that are in front of him in this set. It's a lot more proactive.
You can just see the 1573 arena. That's where we are, in fact. You can almost see our commentary booth there. It's one of the main, from behind the camera, one of the main entrances into the grounds, isn't it, from the city?
Yes.
You go down there past Margaret Court Arena. Got Garden Square on the left, the big screen.
Time.
Plenty to explore. The canopy slide down once more. And we are at the pointy end of this third set. Monfils for a second time here will serve to stay in it.
Just what he needed, a couple of free points.
Yeah, as the server, you love it when the ball doesn't come back into play.
Absolutely, especially at this stage.
14.
Tiebreak time. Monfils doesn't have to hit a ball after his serve in the game.
6 games all.
Altmaier won
Time.
a crucial third set tiebreak in his first round win, his first ever win here at the Australian Open. In round 1 against Francisco Comasana. Monfils played 3 breakers against the big serving in Pesci Pericard. Won the first, lost the next 2, but was able to prevail 4 in the 5th.
Yeah, and let's see if there's any scarring from one of those, especially.
Yeah, 6-4 up, serving the third set tiebreak, as you took this, Roger, 2 match points, wasn't it?
Yeah, the scarring I'm talking about is on the serve. So what, on the second serve especially, is there, you know, he had a tendency, he went big with his second serve, and it was almost like a bit of a panic serve. Let's see here if he gets the same opportunities. He's prepared to just back himself in on the serve.
Yeah.
It's a quick start from Lamont.
3-0, Monfils.
6 service points in a row where the return hasn't come into play.
Who would have thought?
He's got to start putting it in play here, Altmaier. And this will be over in a hurry.
Yeah. What a courageous serve on the second serve.
Monfils.
So this has clearly been the best set of tennis from the German. That was courage. That's the attitude. This is the attitude. So if I was turning up my hard court again, if I was Daniel Altmaier, this is the type of tennis I want to see.
Yeah, this third set has been much better, hasn't it? Hard to believe that his first round win here was his only win at the Australian Open when you see the level he's capable of.
Yeah, it's just a good, aggressive, natural mindset. Some of our best serving coming up in the tiebreak here.
65th Grand Slam of Gael Monfils' career. He's been around the block a few times. He's keeping his calm here in this tiebreak.
And this is why you play. This is why he's playing now, just for these moments. You know, they're pressure moments. The crowd are invested. You can't go buy this off the supermarket shelf, can you? This energy.
First serve has really come to the party. Tail end of this set. 12 aces for the match, 5 in the last few games. Solid tiebreak for Monfils. He's got himself 4 match points. Wouldn't be a Monfils match without a little bit of drama. You can't win it on the first one, would you?
No, I thought he was going to step across there and just launch one down the line. Be that crowd-pleasing finish.
He's got to keep us on the edge of our seats that little bit longer. Still 3 chances.
Well, he's served superbly in this breaker here. Does he finish with an ace?
The win streak continues for Gael Monfils. Champion in Auckland. It's now 7 wins and counting. He's through to the 3rd round here for the 12th time in his brilliant career. Daniel Altmaier gave a great fight in the 3rd set, but ultimately the 30-year-old was just too much on the day.